Alright guys, today I am going to be doing CHING number 160 is what we are on. So no death pile destruction video today. We'll see what I do end up getting listed tomorrow. It did snow. It's still snowing. So I decided to do a CHING video today. And I just wanted to say before I start this video, I had gotten a question in my last CHING video as to why I don't always say like what I paid for something before I say, you know, what I sold something for. This is why I don't always have a price for you guys. This stack is all of invoices, receipts, of everything that we've purchased as far as inventory goes, business expenses, that kind of thing for the year. Eric has the fun job of going through this in a couple days to get it all together, because we're not the most organized, but we get organized obviously before we do our taxes. Yeah, that's why. So say I am, you know, I have a cha-ching for something that's sold. I could have had that item for like 4 years, like before it sold, you know what I mean? So I don't always have those numbers in my head. Like I can't just pull them out of my head for everything. That's why you don't always hear me say like what I paid for something. And I also don't have a really great memory either. So, pretty much, yeah, that's why I just wanted to explain, and I felt it was easier to show you like the stack of invoices to get an idea of, you know, the why behind it all. But just throwing it out there. I will always try to tell you exact prices, but if I don't know exact prices, then I don't even really bother with it. So cha-ching number 160 is what we're on. Also ignore the mess behind me. All that Halloween stuff I need to pack away in a tote for next Halloween. It's like stuff that I was trying to sell and like whatnot. Anyway, cha-ching number 160. First thing that I have is a can of hairspray. This was by Tweaked by Nature. It was a dry hairspray that sold for $29.99, and I can say that was $1 for the can. Let's see, next item was a vintage Bonnie Belle lip smacker. Now this was new, not sealed. This was on a tray of some other beauty stuff that I won at an auction. I think I probably paid maybe $10 for the tray, if that, but there was other stuff on the tray as well, not just this lip smacker. That sold for $39.99. Then we have a Reagan House Santa. This was the really large one that I had. It was 16 inches tall, and he sold for $99.99. Oh, another reason, and I know some of you guys are like, Michelle, stop explaining. You don't need to explain yourself. But one other reason why I might not say prices is when it comes to auctions, I tend to look stuff up for Eric, and I will screenshot the item and I'll put a price on it as far as like, okay, if you win this, we're gonna sell it for say $40. So then he'll bid accordingly, so as you know, there's still a decent enough profit on the item to bid on it, to sell it at said price. That's kind of how I do auctions. I like to know my comps beforehand as far as, you know, what I plan on selling stuff for, so I'm not losing out on any money and I'm making the most profit as possible on the item. So, and then Eric's the one that's at the auction. So if I write, okay, we'll sell this for $40, I'm not sure what exactly he's paying for it because I'm not there, kind of thing. So you know, he might pay $1 for something we're selling for 40, or he might be paying $15 for something we sell for 40. So it's always just a little hard to say exactly. Then next we have a vintage My Little Pony. This was a set of 2 with accessories. They were called Sticky and Sniffles. Those sold for $39.99. I've been selling a couple of these vintage Michael Jackson doll outfits. We won 6, was it 6, 2, 4? Yeah, 6 Michael Jackson doll outfits at an auction, and there were doubles of each one. So 3 different versions and doubles of each one. So this one here sold, I have them all listed as a buy it now for $19.99. So that's what that one sold for, but you'll see others. Then we also sold this was a cold cast statue. Eric won this at an auction, and I know, like, he didn't pay a whole lot for it, but I can't say, you know, exactly what he paid. But this thing was amazing, and it sold for $349. So that one was a great sale. Sold a brand new old stock Panasonic wet dry electric razor for $49.99. Then we also sold a Lennox Nativity. This was like a lighted ornament that sold for $23.99. I know for a fact we had that one for a while. So that was listed for at least maybe 2 years and it finally sold. Then we have a set of 6 Homeco. These were green glass hobnail votive cups. Those sold for $29.99 for the set of 6. Then I have a Hallmark Dear John. This is the second time I sold this now. This was actually a return. It was returned because whoever purchased it originally, like, put in dead batteries and said that it didn't work. I got it back, I put in fresh batteries, and it worked perfectly fine. So resold it for $39.99. Then I have a Lush solid perfume. This was in the scent Baked Alaska. That sold for $19.99, and that just came out of one of my Lush subscription boxes that I have a subscription box to. I just didn't care for the scent of that. Sold a Pokemon like large game mat slash mouse pad for $19.99. That took a long time to sell as well. Same with this next item. This was a vintage Tailspin VHS tape, a Tailspin cartoon that sold for $19.99, and again took a while to sell. This next item was a CD, a Big Timers CD, sold for $5.99. I had a Whatnot show and I did CDs. I think I had 2 CD Whatnot shows, and I sold a lot of CDs, but I still have a couple left over, and they're not really worth a whole heck of a lot. So I did list a couple, and some of them did sell, but I might just send the rest to like an auction house because I just don't feel like dealing with $5 CDs. Then I also sold a vintage My Little Pony Peekaboo Baby Pony that sold for $22.99. I also sold a little plastic Santa ornament for $9.99. So that Rudolph tea set, so it was the teapot, the sugar, and the creamer, all shaped like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That sold for $99.99. We actually had 2 of these, so you'll see this again. It's not that I accidentally put it in twice. We had 2 available. This is a Blue Stars and Bars glass fairy lamp that sold for $59.99. Here's another vintage My Little Pony. This one was a Sweet Celebrations pony that sold for $15.99. As well as another vintage My Little Pony baby rain ribbon that sold for $12.99. I am starting to see some sales on Valentine's Day stuff. So this was a left-in Valentine's Day trinket box That sold for $19.99. Then we got another Reagan House Santa, and he sold for $59.99. Then here is another Michael Jackson doll outfit. This one was the Beat It outfit. That sold for $19.99. Sold one of those vintage Vaseline nursery jars. This one was a Goldilocks version. That sold for $19.99. Here's another Michael Jackson doll outfit. This one was the Billie Jean outfit. Also sold $19.99. Sold a Fenton glass blue lotus shaped little like trinket dish. You could probably use it as like a candle holder as well. That sold for $19.99. Sold that Eddie Bauer queen sheet set. It was kind of like a wintry theme. I think it had ice skaters on it, I want to say. Brand new, still sealed. That sold for $49.99. Sold a Philosophy Sea of Love perfume for $39.99. I know I paid $5 for that. I do remember. This here is another vintage My Little Pony. This one was Tic-Tac-Toe. She sold for $19.99. An Evil Below. This was an It game, an It board game that sold for $29.99. I sold a set of these two little vintage Napco. These were like little mini guys, spaghetti trim, little Christmas boy and girl. Those sold as the set for $45. I did sell the Bavarian Heritage, What Fun It Is to Ride is what it was called. It was a snowman on a sled with some kids. That sold for $49.99, and I paid $7 for that at the antique store. This next item was just these little plastic pieces that went to a display stand for the vintage glowworm figures, the little PVC ones. So it was just little pieces that go to the display, and that sold for $12.99. And I only know that's what it went with because I've sold the display with the pieces, but I had like all these extra pieces I found that didn't go to the displays that I sold. I will say they go to the displays I sold, but they were extra pieces, and it was pretty much like I was missing a display board. I had all the pieces for one, but no board. Let's see, I also sold a Philosophy Fresh Cream Body Souffle for $27.99. This next item was for a large lot of these vintage, they were by Jasco. They were called Little Chimers Christmas bells. Those sold as the lot for $29.99. I sold another can of that hairspray by Tweaked by Nature. Again, sold for $29.99. This one was missing the cap, but still new, and I paid $1 for it. This next item is a vintage My Little Pony comb. So it went with like one of the Christmas ponies. That sold for $9.99. Sold one of those light up electric fiber optic flowers that are in the box. Well, you see the picture. That sold for $29.99. That did take a while to sell. We sold a Norman Brum bird sculpture. This one had a hummingbird on it. That sold for $195. Sold a vintage Avon hairbrush, and you guys saw some of this stuff in my death pile destruction videos. This was in there. Sold for $69.99 and paid $1 for that. Sold a Fisher-Price Fun with Food ice cream set. So it was the little ice cream carton with the ice cream pieces and the ice cream scoop. That sold for $22.99, and I paid $1 for that. We sold a Fire and Light heart-shaped glass paperweight for $79.99. Then I sold a lidded Flow Blue butter dish for $19.99. I'm pretty sure that was $1. A Littlest Pet Shop. Ooh, that was a cha-ching. Oh, another cha-ching. We'll take a look at that afterwards. Littlest Pet Shop. It's probably some auctions that are ending. Littlest Pet Shop Bliff Doll that sold for $9.99. Sold a Maybelline eyebrow palette for $17.99. That was in one of my Death Pile Destruction videos. And here's another one of those Indiana Glass Blue Stars and Bars fairy lamps that sold for $59.99. Sold a vintage Beetleborgs play set. This was called a Battle Base. We had that listed at $59.99. Someone messaged asking if they could buy it for $50, so we accepted that offer and it sold for $50. Sold a Jim Shore Santa Claus. This one is called Pining for Christmas, and he sold for $89.99. And the last thing that I have for this cha-ching is another Reagan House Santa, but this one was an ornament, and that sold for $19.99. So, that is everything for this cha-ching. I do feel like sales are picking up. I think I said in one of my Death Pile Destruction videos, I thought like sales were a little meh here lately, but I do feel like they are definitely picking up. So I don't know if that has anything to do with my listing every single day. Now today, I don't think I'm going to be getting anything listed today, but we'll see. So trying to think if there's anything eBay related that I really felt like I needed to talk about. Let's just see what those cha-chings were. Okay, yeah, it was an auction that ended. I had those folk art pieces that I had listed if you guys are watching all of my Death Pile Destruction videos. So it was the ant that just sold for $39.99. So, yeah, like I said, I think sales are definitely on the uptick. I will be going into our booth, I think on Thursday. I want to say we're going to take a couple of the larger Christmas things out and start putting in, you know, some new fresh things. So we'll be picking up our check, and then I can start putting together a what sold in the booth video for December. January isn't starting out so fantastic. And like today they're closed because of the snow. So I mean, I'm assuming they'll be open tomorrow, but I really, you know, don't know for certain. I'm still not entirely sure how much snow we're getting. So, you know, hopefully like sales will start picking up in the booth again as well. Like December was a fantastic month. And like I said, we're going to be putting in some new fresh stuff and getting some of the Christmas out. Though Christmas stuff is still selling. Like we just sold some Christmas ornaments the other day. So Christmas is still selling after Christmas. But, you know, we do want to get new stuff in. So that's what we're going to be working on Thursday. It's going to be a process. We're not doing it all at once, but I think later on this evening we're going to start getting stuff together and tagging it and all of that good stuff. So we'll see if I get anything listed on eBay, and tomorrow you should see a Death Pile Destruction video. How many things it'll be? Will it just be 10? Will it be more? I have no idea yet, but yeah, I feel like those videos, I know there are some of you that are enjoying them, but I think a lot of people don't really care for them, which is fine. Like, they're, as I stated before, kind of like for me to keep myself accountable and getting things listed and getting through my death pile. So come this time next year, or like the end of the year, I should say, you know, my death pile's under control, I'm organized, and everything is as it should be kind of thing. So that is pretty much everything for this cha-ching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I don't have like a whole lot to talk about today. I can't even really think of anything that's been happening, been going on lately. Just the same old, and just trying to, you know, work on getting stuff accomplished, basically. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.